Okay, folks, we're starting to see the collapse or the breakdown of the economic system, and this is something that we've been very vocal about on the channel. And I found 3 or 4 videos this morning on the weakest link, or where the weakest link will be found, and we've been pointing towards Japan, Japanification, the Japan stagflation, and basically pointing all fingers pointing towards Japan. And we have been very vocal about Japan being the weakest link of them all that will create a financial crisis around the world. And we also did point towards specific housing markets in Australia, specific housing markets in Canada as being the weakest link of people over leveraging and taking on too much debt. But the banking systems and the governments managed to keep ways going to keep people over leveraged and keep them going and keep them piling on more debt. Well, the weakest link is Japan. In Japan right now, the markets are dropping. I think it was 6, 7, or 8 points overnight, and it looks like it's not doing well. And a lot of these corporations have been gutted since the 80s. A lot of these companies in Japan, big corporate structures, did go public, and a lot of them started to gut them out and hollow out these companies into empty shells. And it's starting to fracture, and the banking system in Japan is very frail. It's been frail since 2017, and it's gotten worse since then. And right now, that could be the economic downfall. That economic downfall or problem could send economic shockwaves across, and you're starting to see it this morning in the Dow. I'm looking at what's happening this morning in the markets in the United States and Canada, and it may be a major bloodbath. This is August 2024. We did tell you, and we've been warning about August 2024 going back to 2018. And now we are here in August 2024, and economically, now what's going to happen is the banking system. So everyone's looking at the economic system and saying, this is not going to affect me, Mike. Why would the bank going down or the bank defaulting affect me, Mike? Or if the bank still, isn't that better for me? Well, if you're severely over leveraged, you're in trouble, because you're going to start to see a massive just job shutdowns. Governments are going to be forced going forward. You watch me, mark my words. Governments will go forward and start canceling and shutting down public sector projects, public sector jobs, public sector, because the public sector is just way too big in a lot of these English-speaking countries, especially Canada and Australia, where the public sector is like taking over to help the economy with private sector taxpayers paying the public sector. It makes no sense at all. So propping the economy, Canada's already been caught propping the economy by creating, like Trudeau said, we created 200,000 jobs, and 197,000 of them were just jobs that were working for the government. Anyone could do that. Any government could do that and create public sector jobs. So a lot of people are going to be on the hook financially, and these economic shockwaves are going to get a lot worse. And then from the United States, you're going to see a lot of countries across the Commonwealth. This is going to spark back civil unrest. This was already happening in 2019 with the repo markets and the over leveraging and people with no confidence in governments and mismanagement of government funds and all kinds of stuff. And we're back to 2019, the year of the protests in 2024. Now with these economic shockwaves, it's going to send a ripple effect. It's going to affect, this may be the Black Swan. The Black Swan we've been talking about since 2012. And I've been wrong. I've been wrong on all these dates. But it's getting to a point where it's so overly leveraged, it's so overly wound up. You know, when you wind up a toy, you wind up a toy, you wind up a toy, and you wind it up, and then you go, oh, I think I went too much, and then crunch, 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 you broke the little motor. Well, this is where it's at right now. The little motor is broken. It's wound up too tight. They've been kicking the can down the road. And then we've been saying they've been kicking the can to the next neighborhood, and they've been kicking the can down now to the next county, because that's how far they're trying to push the problems down the road, or push the problems as far away as humanly possible, so they don't have to deal with them. Now here it is. This economic pile of crap that they've put together with derivative markets, repo markets, banks not trusting each other, has basically put the pressure on the consumer. Consumers have been over leveraged way too much. And we've been warning, guys, calculate your TDS, calculate your CGS, figure out where you're at, find out what you could afford. Make sure that if the interest rates do go up, oh, Mike, but they dropped interest rates recently here in Canada. So you're saving $700 a year on your mortgage payment of $70,000 to $140,000 a year. Good for you. So that's where we're at right now, folks. I'm going to keep an eye, of course, on what's happening economically. The black swan, this ripple effect of damage that's going to be done. And then a lot of people are blaming it on Kamala. They're blaming it on this. They're blaming it on everything. No, this has been built up since pretty much 2012, 2013. And this is, if you look at, and if you want to audit and look at a lot of the banking, if you want to go back and look at the books at a lot of these banks, especially up here in Canada. That's why back in 2018, we were calling it the Great White Short. Everyone's going to short Canadian banks because their books were just terrible. They were over-leveraged. They took on too much. They have nothing in their coffers. They have nothing to cover the spread. And that's where we're at right now. And we'll see what happens, guys. Let me know what's happening in your neck of the woods when it comes to economically. What's happening economically? Let me know what you think is going to happen economically. I'll be down in the comments reading your comments today. I look forward to hearing what's going on and what you guys think is going on, because it's up to us to figure things out in the end and brainstorm and figure out ideas. Let me know what you guys think. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.